James Gunn is going to give us some iconic locations in the upcoming reboot of Superman. We've got Metropolis, we've got the Fortress of Solitude, and now we have a first look at the home of Clark Kent, the classic Kent farm down in Smallville. Let's take a couple minutes to check out the first look, talk about the farm, and why this does fit the modern day aesthetic much better than previous versions. Now before we do that though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring that bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are in the know. Well, as many of you know, James Gunn is currently working on his Superman reboot. Now, production has been ongoing for quite a while. Actually, they're more than halfway done. And for a while now, they've been down in Atlanta, but we also know they filmed some scenes over in Norway, which is more than likely the location of the Fortress of Solitude. Now, recently, the production moved to LaGrange, Georgia, and apparently this will be the location for the scenes taking place on the Kent farm. Now, one classic thing with Superman is, whether this was the Donner films, Man of Steel, or even Smallville, is being home and on the Kent farm is a big part of the Superman mythos, and it appears James Gunn is embracing that once again. And we have our first images of the new farm, so let's not beat around the bush and check it out. So once again, this is pretty classic Americana when it comes to farms, and honestly very reflective of what a 21st century farm kind of looks like. Now, classically, the Smallville farm is often portrayed with some grandeur, usually a really big farmhouse. But if you know modern American farming, this house is kind of reflective of that. I did notice it's also yellow and red, maybe a bit of a nod to the character himself, but all in all, this does look pretty great and a classic American farm. Now, obviously, the pictures don't reveal much more, and actually, they come via somebody who found them shooting near his home and snapped the photos. So you might want to expect some changes to the farm because some of the backgrounds and other features could be changed in post-production. Now, obviously the pictures don't indicate how much time we're going to spend on the farm, but I have to suspect it's going to be Clark's base and something we see for at least a sizable portion of the movie. I am glad they're including the farm once again in this film. You can't leave it out, but I did find it interesting that once again they didn't go to Kansas, they went to a different shooting location, something that's been pretty consistent with farms for Superman. Now, obviously farms vary from place to place and how they look in the United States, but it does generally capture the Americana aspect of classic farming, and I think it'll be a great addition to the library of Smallville farms that we've gotten over the lifetime of Superman on film. The film is coming our way next July, and I suspect James Gunn and crew are probably 70% through production. As of right now, Gunn is not expected to make it to San Diego Comic-Con, but I really do think DC might have some surprises headed our way, and we could very well get a first look, but we're gonna have to wait and see.